And whoa, I guess I should stop covering up the camera, huh? So try to get it secured here. And let's turn it the right direction. There we go. All right. We're only experiencing mild technical difficulties. Let me get my hopefully you can hear me a lot better with this plugged in. We'll do the and all right, hopefully that's a lot better audio. Let me know if you can hear me better or not. And all right, so I've got all this cherry wood over here that I cut up on a previous live video. And I've been intending to get that stacked and properly drying for a while, but I was kind of alternating in my mind between doing a just air drying it or putting it on, building a little kiln. And so it's just been sitting on my workbench, making it so I can't really get any other projects done. So today I want to build a small kiln and stack the cherry wood in it and start drying it out a little bit faster. So see what we can do. All right. I am going to put it over here on this shelf. But I had to do some prep work before I could do that because down here, let's see if I can get the tripod to cooperate with me here. There we go. Almost cooperating. All right. Down here, all of these shelves were put in with just nails and don't really even seem like very big nails. And so I thought it might be better to put some actual screws, and the nails didn't necessarily hit the studs either. So I thought it'd be better to put some screws in there and make sure that it's going to be able to support the weight of the cherry wood. Then I also put kind of another support on either side here because these are just 1x4s, and then the supports here are just 1x2s, if that. And so I've got an additional support there in addition to the screws going in there. I've got screws going in there, and then I put screws into each of the studs on the back side. So I'm hoping that's going to be enough to support it, but we'll find out as we go. And if it's not enough to support, then I'll probably have a big mess to clean up later. If it is enough to support it, then sweet. All right, and then I'm just going to build it using this 1-inch foam board that I have been using for basically I'll just put my little makeshift track saw that I make out of I made out of my circular saw. So I've just been using that as a that's just where I've been. Can't even think of what to term that, but been using that to make my cuts. And so I've already got it, and I'll just repurpose it for the kiln, and hopefully that works. Right now I'm going to try and cut some stickers, and I'm seeing that there's some chat going on. I haven't can't really see the chat very well on this, but I've got the laptop open over here, and I will check that periodically. So yeah, so I'm just going to cut up. So I've got these previously these were 2x6s. I cut them down to 2x2s for a different project, and then realized that 2x2 was not what I needed. And so I've just got a bunch of these 2x2 boards that I'm going to cut down. My kiln is going to be 16 inches deep on the exterior. So I'm going to make these stickers 14 inches long. And then I think I'm going to cut them down to like a 3/4 inch or maybe an inch thick. So if I cut them down to 3/4, then I can get a lot more out of them. But I'm worried that I'm right at 1.5 inches on these guys. And so if I cut them down to, 3/4, then I'm losing my 1/8 of an inch on my kerf, and it'll be less than 3/4 inch, which I guess is less than optimal, but it's going to be a pretty small kiln. I'm not too worried about airflow and everything, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should be worried. So anyway, I'm going to start cutting these, and then I will check in with the chat as it's a little bit more accessible. So, and then I don't know if you can see, but I've just got a little makeshift stop block that I put over here to make these just over 14 inches. Yeah, so we'll go from there. Oh, but I am going to need to get out an extension cord and actually plug this thing in if I'm going to make any cuts. So everything's a bit in disarray because I've got so much stuff that I need to move out of the way in order to make room for this project. So, and maybe that's why it's just been sitting for so long, not getting done. I would never procrastinate, right? As I did a little bit earlier, watching Bailey Woodworks live video. Saw some of you there, I think. He made some beautiful bowls over there. So, all right, let me just do a little check-in, see if I can get to the chat here and see what everyone is talking about. And I'm going to turn down the volume here so that it's not messing with things. Okay. All right. LJ and Mike. Good to see you guys. Vineyard. See you, Brian. Bailey. Hey, Bailey. Nice to see you. All right. So, thought you were sub before. Now you are. Hey, great. My name again, it's Pelado, of course. No, my first name is Roy, but my nickname is Pelado. Got that nickname back in Argentina. I was a missionary back when I was like 19, 20 years old. And way back then, I was follically challenged, just as I am today. A little bit more challenged today than I was then, but still. So a Chilean companion gave me that nickname. So, and it shows quite often in the videos. All right, so let's get cutting. And got the protection for my eyes and ears, but there's nothing protecting my heart. All right. Oh, one more thing. Let's get some vacuum suction. All right. Oh, hey, Dylan. All right. So I'm just gonna stack those over there for now. And then I was thinking I should use the most bowed boards for cutting them up into these small segments. That one looks pretty bowed. Go with him next. And I should find some more support for this long side instead of just relying on this little, whatever this is called, the screw it down. But I've been wanting to do some improvements to the miter saw station for a while, but other stuff always comes up first. For example, I've got wheels on this thing, which is great for making it mobile, but the wheels don't have any brakes on it. So I can't make it stay when I want to. That kind of sucks. And then I don't have outboard support over here. I could possibly bring something over here and add some support, but I think it might be a little too tall and don't want to do that. So anyway, a lot of fun time. All right. Oh, Rusty's table is shipped. Awesome. Sounds good. Hope he enjoys it. Oh, and I was going to ask you guys, for those of you that do dry your own wood, how thick of stickers do you make? Do you do 3/4, 1 inch? I read online that anything more than an inch is, kind of a waste of space, and that less than 3/4 means it's inadequate airflow. What do you guys think? What's your take on that? I don't want to, so right now I'm at 1.5 inches, which is thicker than what it says that I need. So according to the Google machine, but maybe they're wrong. You know what I mean? And I don't know that I'm going to need a bunch more than that. I'm thinking to do 2 or 3 stickers per level. So let me get this out of the way for now. Just throw that there. Cut the power. But leave that easily accessible just in case. Oh, losing my boards. All right. What do you guys think? What do you typically? It actually uses the hold down. Yeah. Yeah. I on those boards, because they're 12 foot long. I was like, you know what? I really need that extra support. A lot of times I don't use it if it's something that I can handle with my hands without getting too close to the blade and stuff. But if I'm cutting small stuff, usually I won't use the miter saw. I'll just use my crosscut sled that I was just talking about on Mike is Making Stuffs live last night. So if you want to see a little bit about that, plus I'm still need to put the video together on that build. But yeah, does anyone here dry their own wood? And if so, how thick do you make your stickers? Is it more than 1 inch, less than 3/4 inch? And if so, how successful have you been with those? Because I am thinking to do pretty close to 3/4. It might be whatever 3/4 minus a 16th is, so that I just cut these guys in half. And then I get double the stickers out of this. But then I might actually go cut these in half and then cut them in half again. So then I'm getting 4 nearly 3/4 inch stickers out of each of these. But that might not be enough width. So, you know, you guys that have done this before, what do you think? You would quarter those up? Okay. Yeah, what I was just thinking. And then they're going to be slightly smaller than 3/4 inch. But that makes sense to me too. All right. So let me get a table saw more accessible. Oh, and this is the dehumidifier that I'm planning to put in the kiln. It's pretty small, I hope, and so it shouldn't take up too much room, which is important for this project. And so, yeah. All right, get this guy out. Adjust this down to, it's going to be just about 3/4. I set it to 1 3/4, and I was like, wait, that seems way too big. What's going on? Like, yeah, that's the brilliance that we're working with here. All right. So, give you guys a little bit better angle. And position the router table build over here. So then I can have my to-do pile here. And what do I plan on drying? Hey, Mike, I think you were on the live before, like a couple weeks ago, probably, when I cut up all this cherry wood. It's been sitting on my workbench ever since, making it very difficult for me to do other projects. So I'm like, you know what? Let me actually get that taken care of. So, yep, yeah, I thought you were. All right. So, let's see. Do I want to have anything over here to set the wood down on, or just call it good? All right, I think I'll just call it good. And that is wrong. You know what? I can't trust the markings here because on a different live that I think you were here for too, Mike, and maybe some of the others as well. I replaced the back rail on my, actually not this part, but the part that rides on right here. I replaced the back rail, and I haven't reset the, haven't reset this for the, so I can't trust the built-in tape measure here. Gonna have to all right, so that is 3/4. Go 1/16 less than that. So hopefully I'm getting pretty much exactly half. Yeah, it looks like it would be less than half, but or not quite half. Eyeballing it, that looks pretty close to half. Huh. Looks to be close to the same measurement I thought it was before, but I guess not. Yeah. Yep. Sometimes you got to rearrange everything to find a single tool. All right. So I need to adjust my Grabber Pro here. Tighten it down. All right, so we'll give that a whirl and see how close we are to half. Actually, you know what? I'm going to start with this guy that is not full length or not full width on this side, but is on this side. And because this is going to be a worthless piece anyway for our purposes today. We'll see how close that is. So here it goes. How do you like that outfeed table? All right, that's a little less than half, which is surprising because I thought I was adjusting it to be even more. All right. But it's also a different piece than I was originally looking at, so yeah, let's just give it a whirl here. All right, that is pretty close. Let's try that. That is just about spot on. Just got a little bit of a lip there. Just a bit. I'm really making the micro adjustments here. All right, so now I've gone too far the other direction, just barely. That's close enough. And I mentioned that I don't have brakes on the miter saw, which I don't. I do have brakes on the table saw, but I didn't engage them. So that's really smart of me. There we go. That should be better. All right. Had to remember where I'd sit all the rest of them. All right. Here we go. Hey, Johnny, good to see you. Harbor Freight Wheels? Yes, absolutely. Got a whole bunch more too for other projects that I may or may not do. Who knows? But you know, when they're on special, you got to get the deals, right? So, all right. So let me lower this. And go from there. All right. So that's a pretty significant difference on those two. So I'm going to need to adjust my distance a little bit here. Yeah, shorten that up because these guys are not as wide apparently as they were thick. Yeah, a hair under 1.5, which makes sense, I guess. But let me use the ruler over here too. All right. See how that does. You have a drawer full of them? Yeah. You know, that is definitely an issue. I'm doing better at it now than I used to, but I'd see the specials and be like, oh, well, when is it ever going to be on special like that again? Well, often. It's on special often. So don't worry. And I found myself now, anytime there's something that I need from Harbor Freight, I'm like, okay, is it under 20 bucks? Well, let me wait until the next, 30% off deal. Unless a coupon comes along that's better than 30% off. And because otherwise they're going to have a 30% off deal. Might as well wait until that comes up, right? But I'm also cheap. So if it's not something that I have to have right away, then just put it on the wait list and get it when it's coupon time. Just about perfect on that. So let me burn through the rest of these. But I think I'm gonna use the old office chair so I don't just throw them on the ground. All right. Clear up the working space there. All right. You know what? I was thinking I can't use this, but maybe I can. Let's see. Waiting for the drill presses to go on sale. You know what? I actually picked up a couple of drill presses not at Harbor Freight, and for a lot less than at Harbor Freight. I've got this desktop version over here. That guy that I think you might be able to see in frame now. And then I've also got let's see. It's not showing as live there. I'll have to fix that a little bit. And I've also got this guy that's hiding back here. A standing model. It's Sears Craftsman 13-inch drill press. And I just got those used off of Facebook Marketplace. I haven't really even cleaned this guy up yet. So he's still quite a bit of a mess. But yeah, and for a lot less than what I would have paid for a new one at Harbor Freight. Now, neither of them are new. They've each got their issues. But let's see. Oh, LJ, maybe you're already in bed, but all right, Mike heading off to bed. LJ. All right. Oh, okay. I think you might have caught it then. All right. And Carrie's here. Sweet. Good to see you, Carrie. All right. So I think this is probably going to be enough stickers for the kiln setup, but you never know. Maybe it's not enough, especially if I drop them all down under the router table there. All right. You know what? Maybe I should have just left them on the chair. But then where am I going to sit? All right. That's probably better. And this guy over here. The nice thing of having everything on wheels is that everything's mobile. The bad thing about having everything on wheels is that everything's mobile. So constantly have to be moving things around, but it makes it so that I can use the space maybe a little bit more efficiently. All right, so I'm going to unplug the table saw, take the brakes off, just that guy, and wrap this guy back up. Might not be able to tell from the sawdust that's left, but it is connected to a shop vac and cyclone separator down below. Talked about that in some prior videos. So you can kind of see, see that set up there. All right, so I think I'm ready to get the foam board out and start cutting it up. But first, I'm going to try to get these guys out of the way. I'm hoping I won't need them, but I got them down from the upper shelf just in case I need to cut them all up. So, all right, set them there for now. And then let me retrieve the stickers that fell down here. Oh, only one. And let me do some cleanup too. Get out the old shop vac here. And get all the connections that are necessary. And all right. Feeling like I need to have these over here, maybe. That should make it a little less likely to fall in my way. All right. Time to get the foam board. And probably hang up the protective equipment for the moment. Wow, my voice sounds a lot different to me without the headphones on. All right, so the miter saw station out of the way now. All right. What are you guys able to see? All right. Oh, we're angled up. I should probably change that. You couldn't even see me vacuuming. Sorry. Poor people. That's probably the best part of the video is the vacuuming. All right. So I'm going to go 24 inches tall, 16 inches deep. So I need two pieces that are 24 inches, two pieces that are 16 inches. And then my sides that just need to be 16 by 24. So I think if I've calculated that correctly, I think this one sheet should be able to do the whole thing. So let me try it. So 24. I'm just going to score that for the moment. $24. All right. And get my Pittsburgh level / straight edge from Little Harbor Freight, as we were just discussing. And try to make sure I guess I should probably clamp it down somehow, but since if I don't, it could just move on me like it did just there. All right, well, that wasn't the straightest cut, but you know what? They're not really paying me that much either, so. All right. And I'll do another 24 from there. That was better. I didn't try to go as deep that time. I'm just trying to score it that I can follow later, but then miss the line that I'm supposed to be following. All right, go. All right, now 16. Puts this right there. And 16, which puts us right there. Okay. Hmm. All right. And go a little deeper. Yeah, I've seen some pretty elaborate kiln builds on YouTube, but I don't really need all that elaborate. I just need something that'll fit this little bit of cherry wood and that will fit in my shop. And I considered the solar kilns, but just felt like that would take up too much space and it's not as controlled, and it does save electricity. You don't have to put the dehumidifier in or anything, but where I'm at, electricity isn't really that expensive. We have a lot of hydroelectric power. So it's not like in some parts of the country where electric bills are crazy expensive. Just going a little deeper on the cut now. All right. So if I've done this right, hopefully I'll be able to just snap these off when I turn them the other direction. Who thinks they're going to snap off nicely, and who thinks they are not? What was the name of the first one? Johnny Carey. Hey, Carrie, what the name of the first one? Maybe I'm not catching which first one are we talking about. Maybe you can enlighten me on that. So, all right. There's the first. And seems like it probably could snap off pretty easily, but oh, maybe were you talking about the drill press? Is that what you're asking about, the name of the first one? If so, all right, that one I didn't really cut deep enough, it doesn't look like. Or maybe I did, and I just didn't try pulling it back far enough here. Oh yeah, that's fine. And I'll just follow that. Peekaboo. All right. And then we should be at 16. There we go. And that's pretty close to 16. So looks like I didn't cut them all quite as exact as I hoped, but probably about as well as I could have expected. The tabletop drill press. Yeah, let me take a look. So I got it used. I don't remember it being a brand name that I recognized, so it was just yeah, it's Built hard. I don't know how well you can read that, but Built Hard is the name brand of this guy. So 5-speed bench drill press. So it works. You know, like, hey, if it does the job, then what more can you ask for? All right. Yes, Carrie, I am making it because I don't want it to wait for it to dry. I am impatient. Also, I was thinking about it, and normally, well, what I was originally thinking, I've got some, storage, wood storage up on these shelves. So the boards that I just cut down for the stickers, I actually got those, just off of Facebook Marketplace. They were 2x6, 12-foot boards, and someone was getting rid of a deck, so I was like, free wood, I'll take it. And so I built that shelf in large part to store those 12-foot boards. And then I've got a bunch of like old shipping container wood that I broke down that I've got stored over there. Initially, I was thinking to park the cherry wood up there in the corner. And I was like, I don't want to go all the way up there, stack it all up nice and neat, and then, whatever, right? So then I thought, why don't I just use the shelving over here, right? And if I'm using the shelving over here, I've got access to power. I could build a little kiln, and depending on how hot it can get in there with, I've just got a little dehumidifier that, I don't know if you saw it before, but it's just in the box there. And so, I can, just put it in this little kiln here, and, it might take, it's not going to get super hot. But I would imagine it can probably stay upwards of 100, 110 pretty regularly. And so that should dry it out relatively quickly, especially with the dehumidifier in there extracting the water. And then I saw you say I could dry it in the oven. And I could do that. But my oven, you're talking about just a regular, like the oven in the stove in the kitchen, if that's what you mean. I could do that, but my stove there, the oven, the minimum temperature is 170, and I think that's too hot to do it in a controlled, safe way. I think it would probably end up damaging the damaging the wood by just drying it out too fast. So I don't want to do that. So trying to be smart, but probably not being smart anyway. So, all right, let me get things situated here. Yeah, in the kitchen, yep. Yeah, so, if I could have a controlled temperature much lower, then, I think I might try that, but also the boards, the boards might be a little too wide to fit in the oven. Some of them are as wide as 3 feet. And so that might be a little bit too much. So I just got this duct, what do they call it? HVAC insulation, dryer venting insulation tape. So I'm just going to try to put it together with this stuff, and not even use any other structural components. And then it'll just sit on this shelf. And you might not have been around earlier when I described the project, but the idea is that I'll have, I'm not sure which is going to be best to have the, if it matters which side is on the exterior, but if I have the shiny side or the Artec, not sponsored by the way, on the exterior. So the idea is put that guy there. All right, put this guy here. And then have, it's basically just build a box with the foam like that. If I've calculated things correctly, then I should be able to cut this guy in half and have half over there, half over here. And then I'll put the dehumidifier right here, make a small hole, so it'll come over here to the power, and then stack up my cherry over here using those stickers, and hopefully that works well. I also picked up a little fan. I'm not sure if I'll have room for the fan in there, but just saw this at a garage sale for a couple bucks. So tested it and it worked. So I was like, all right, that could work in my kiln if it's small enough. And but I think the dehumidifier has a fan on it anyway, so there should be at least some air movement. So anyway, so I'm going to start taping this all together, and I feel like this guy is wider than that guy. So let me see which is the widest of these. Okay, these two are wider than this one, I think. So this one must be one. It was at the last piece. So I'm going to use this one for my sides, and use these two for the bottom and top. And all right, so it's going to be the easiest way to do this. I think I want to have the shiny side on the exterior because that'll look better for my garage, because I have so many visitors in the garage that'll be really interested. Okay. Yeah, better off stacking it than spray it. Yeah, I was spraying it, baby kisses, you're saying, for getting rid of insects and such, I'm presuming. And always thought they need to be stacked individually with spacers. Yeah, so I've got the stickers that I just made earlier. So I don't know if you were here for those, but I just made a bunch of these. And so we'll be stacking them in there. And let's see. Where's Mike? Yeah, I need to keep an eye on. Yeah, out of control. This left-handed copy. Yeah, you caught that. That was a fun time. All right, indoor sunbed. I'm not sure what that means. We're watching you. Okay. I think the shiny side goes in. To let wood dry slowly without cracking. It's what Amish home builders do. Are you talking about the indoor sunbed? To let it dry slowly without cracking? Is that what you mean, baby kisses? Because I definitely don't want it cracking. No, spray it. What are they spraying it with? Just with water? Is that trying to equalize the moisture and don't let it get too dry? Is that what you mean? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I've seen stuff like that. So Carrie, you're thinking the reflective side should go on the inside. That kind of makes sense, even though I prefer having the shiny part outside because it's just more attractive than the R-Tech. But yeah, all right. Let me put this one over here so that I remember that is for the sides. Let me pick off the little pieces of whatever that stick into the foam, and then I will start taping this stuff together. So let me see if I've got a difference in size on these two. They should be the same, but I cut them, so they're probably not. Pretty close. Pretty close. Yeah, pretty much flush. First time for everything. All right. So, Carrie, I will do it as you suggest in spite of my reservations. And I need these to be on top of this because I've only got 16 inches of depth. Actually, that's just the opposite. I've only got 16 inches of depth, so I need this to be on top of this. And I've got 26 plus inches of height, and so it should be pretty easy to make sure those are not too tall. So let me get out the tape and just start going. Start making stuff. Speaking of Mike, he's always making stuff, right? All right. So, all right. Looks like this tape requires that I peel it back. So, all right. Let me get some scissors out because I can't just rip it like I expected to be able to. And I'm going to put some tape here at one end. All right. And I have to remind myself what I was just talking about. Which one goes where? All right. And then I'll get another piece for down at the bottom. Hopefully I can still peel the backing away. Maybe I can't. You all get to suffer through my struggling with the backing. All right. All right. I think I'll do one in the middle and then start going lengthwise. All right. All right, right about there. You know, if I didn't chew my fingernails off all the time, maybe this would be easier for me. Nasty habit, I know, but sometimes habits are tough to break, and you know what? That's not as bad a habit as some. There are a lot worse habits to have. All right. How well did I calculate the? Oh, dang! That was pretty freaking close. Huh? Huh? That's pretty good. You'd say something mean about me. Don't want to get too big of a head. Don't want to get too big-headed. But man. All right, I think I should do another here. Right about there. Just kind of reinforce it. Yeah. Yeah, I am so worried about how it looks because, you know, I just have so many people in the shop here, and I don't want them thinking poorly about my decorative choices. Let's see. When's the last time I had someone in here? Yeah, maybe I don't have that many people in here. My wife and daughters, whenever I do get them in here, they're always just trying to find an excuse to get out. So, like, okay, Dad, that's great. Thanks for telling us about your project. I'm leaving now. Except they don't say that I'm leaving now part. They just start backing toward the door, hoping that I won't notice that they're on their way out. All right. Easy go lucky, right? So easy for me to just talk away. Good. You can listen. Just, yeah. Usually get my end game accomplished. Sometimes the ones where I don't get it accomplished are not the ones that I'm confident in putting on live or making videos out of. So those are the projects that are still in process or never going to make it to to the video feed. So yeah, not nearly as close to that one, but oh well. All right. All right. I think that's pretty good. And I think I'll tape it from the inside too. Even though, does it really need it? So if I tape everything from the outside, the inside isn't really that necessary. I might just be wasting the tape, and I definitely want to make sure I have enough to finish the project. So, all right, I'm going to attach this other side first before I worry about whether to tape on the inside or not. So that is still a possibility. All right. And what the? How dare you fall down? I put you here for a reason. And if I can't remember the reason, or if I can't articulate the reason, it still doesn't give you an excuse for falling down. All right. Here we go. One of the nice things about doing the live is that it feels, whoa, so much more natural to talk constantly. Whereas if I'm just recording a video, it feels a lot weirder to be talking through the whole thing because I know there's no one on the other side yet. Whereas if I'm doing a live, especially when there are people in the chat, participating in the chat, I'm like, oh, there are people here. There are people listening. And so I should be saying something. Even if what I'm saying has absolutely nothing at all to do with the project. All right. I was thinking that I would get this project done a lot earlier than I'm getting to it now. And that then I'd have time to go out and finish burning the rest of that stump that I was burning on live earlier this week. But it's getting late, so I don't know if I'm going to have time for that tonight. So, all right. There we go. All right. All right. And right about there. And see if I can get this one started. Oh, so close. There. Oh, there we go. All right. All right. Another one here. All right. And right about there. Sometimes you have to take joy in small pleasures, like the tape being just about the right length. Because you know what? A lot of times in life, okay, things don't work out how you want. Like with my placement of the tape just now. And so when things do go right, enjoy it. All right. Starting to come together. All right. Now, all right. So this guy, need to cut him in half. And all right. And want to take my utility knife? Oh, I wouldn't want to hurt myself. And yeah, I might be able to get it off easier that way, but probably just fine. Heat tape is stick. Yeah, not too bad. Is there enough tape? I think so. Here's what I have left. So I think I'll have enough. I tried to buy a fair amount. So, all right, let me find, where did I put my, oh, right here. On the table saw, great place for a ruler. And let me lower the blade on the table saw so I don't injure myself, whether necessary or not. All right, so let me put the, oh, where'd I put the blade? I've got it around here somewhere. Where did I put that? Hey, sweetheart. You getting something for your mom? You want to come on camera? No? Oh. Surprisingly, my teenage daughter does not want to be on camera. First time for everything. Actually, she never wants to be on camera, pretty much. So, where did I put my knife? Anyone notice where I put my knife? If so, tell me in the chat. Okay. Let's see. Oh, there it is. I thought I put it right there, and I did. I just didn't notice it when I went over there. All right. So, right at, I guess I should have checked the other side to make sure that this really is 24 and okay. All right. And shiny side up. I'm going to put the knife right there where it's a little bit more visible for me. All right. And Let's see how well that works. Okay. That should work, I think. All right. So I'm going to just put tape on here first. Before I start trying to attach it to anything. See, now you're in my head about maybe I should use the knife to get this backing off, but I think that might be even more embarrassing for me than trying to do it by hand. So, all right. Sticking a little too early there. All right. I'm going to turn this so I can see it better. Maybe it makes it so you can see it better too, but I'm mostly concerned about me seeing it better. No offense. All right. There we go. All right. And a couple of cuts like that. Who said these were? Who said this was sticky tape? Is that you, Carrie? You might have a point on that. All right. And over here, this other piece. If there's anyone in that works in HVAC that's watching now, they are probably laughing uncontrollably at the difficulty I'm having with the tape. Shouldn't be that hard, right? All right. I'm not sure why that one seems so much taller than the other, but apparently I didn't cut that very straight. All right. It's starting to look like a box, don't you think? All right. right. All right, I'm going to do the same trick I did earlier. All right. Oh, I see something about chocolates. Doing s'mores. Oh man, I should do s'mores after this. Go burn that stump and have some s'mores. Love chocolate. Me too. Ghirardelli. Oh, I love Ghirardelli. Caramel's my favorite. Mostly see your feet. Oh, sorry. Forgot to adjust after cutting the cutting that those side pieces. So, all right. Eat. Okay. Fridge is full of chocolate, donuts, cookies. Yeah. I've been trying to cut back on a lot of the sugar. So, never did H Factor. You're still laughing? Yeah. You know, I find that people, they can laugh even just looking at me. I don't have to even be doing anything. So, people say I'm funny, but looks on everything. All right. Diabetic. Yeah. Yeah, baby kisses. I also diagnosed with type 2. And, tried dieting and stuff. But still my A1C was going up. So the doctor prescribed some Manjaro that I started. Let's see, it's less than a year ago, but man, that stuff is pretty amazing. Because back before I started it, I mean, I'm not thin now, but I was about 70 or 80 pounds heavier than I am now back before I started the Manjaro. So it's some pretty amazing stuff. And my last couple of checkups, my A1C was at 5.5 and then 5.4. So it's been pretty good for me. All right. Yeah, I'm going to try that again. This time, making sure I can see it as well as possible. All right. Well, looks like it's about the same as it was before. But, all right. There we go. All right. Another couple pieces over here. And then I think I will start putting it on the shelf. All right. There we go. All right. So, Carrie, I remember you saying during the stump burning live that you are in Spokane. Baby Kisses, I do not remember where you are from. If you are comfortable sharing that information, feel free to let us know in the chat where you're at. And anyone else who wants to join in on the chat, feel free to let us know where you're watching from and how much you're laughing about how terrible I am with this HVAC tape. I was thinking I might take this live video footage and make a regular video out of it. If I do, how do you think I should edit the peeling of tape? What should how should I handle that? All right. You know what? I don't think I'm going to bother with tape on the inside. That feels plenty stable. Uh-oh. What am I coming up against here? Do I have it too tall for the back? Seems like that should fit. But looks like this guy is just a little bit too wide to fit in there. So let's see if this other side is any thinner. Nope, not thin enough. So I am going to trim off a little bit there. Feels like it's snowing in here. All right. Let's see if that's enough. You know what? I think it's just going to sit like this and not go behind that. I was anticipating that it would, but must have cut those more than 16, but or I just have a little bit more variance there because of the all of the other stuff. So that's fine. That should work. Oh, Wisconsin, cool. Let's see, what else did I miss here? Laughter is the best. I like to laugh. Nothing wrong with humor. Manjaro, yeah, Manjaro. Yep, it's a semi-glutide. Never heard of it. Yeah, it's like Ozempic, but my doctor said it's actually rated better than Ozempic. That it is, testing has shown it to be a little bit more effective. So it's similar. And have metformin. Yeah, I did metformin for a while, and my doctor said that after a while it kind of loses its effectiveness. And so, yeah, he's like, we can keep pumping up the amount of metformin that you're taking, but it's probably not going to really help much. So, all right, let's see if we can adjust this so you can see more than the old toolbox that my brother gave me that I haven't done anything with yet. All right, so here's our box as it stands now. So then this fits there, right? Let's see, did we have that? Okay, so I have that on the opposite side going like that. I'm wondering how I should do this, because I want to be able to easily access. So I think I'll load it up and then tape on the top, so then I can open it this way, and then maybe do some different kind of adhesive or something on the sides and bottom. Then I also want to have the cord for the dehumidifier probably coming out here. And I'm not sure if this dehumidifier has a drainage that I can do outside of the kiln. I saw a bunch of them on YouTube that have drainage to the exterior. You can just hook up a little tube. But I haven't investigated this yet, as you might be able to tell. User manual. Okay. And done. All right. Hey, what do you know? It's got a hose. All right. More tape. All right. And just throw that on my garbage pile on the floor. All right. And let's see if this reaches. I just snake it through here, if it reaches the outlet over here or not. Move all this stuff out of the way. Uncover what I need. And it reaches. Hooray, hooray. Then I've got the only things hooked up to this outlet are the sprinklers and the dehumidifier. So something to humidify and something to dehumidify. Perfect. All right. So it looks like that is how you drain, or that's where the water gets drained. And all right. Let's see if don't see. See if there's okay. So that could Yeah, I think that just hooks up like that, because there's two different sides on this humidifier. Two different drainage points, one on this side, one on this side. And so if I just don't have this in there, or let's see, can I? Okay. Oh no, maybe that's how I do it. Don't have to connect it there. I can connect it here, which makes more sense. All right. So then, yep, make sure it's going in the right direction. All right. So then I can have that here. I can have this hose draining to the outside, and that'll give me a way to monitor how much it's draining without having to open it up every time. All right, so now let me find some stickers and do something like that. And actually, I want to keep these uniform. So I'm actually going to use a different one than that. All right. So those are all substantially the same height. And that should give me relatively good even spacing. And you wouldn't edit it. You'd leave all the I'd have to speed it up to like 50 times in order to not completely bore people. Okay. Drum figure, TikTok. Here, 6, okay, back it up, 18. Okay. So, so you lived in Wisconsin from when you were age 6 to age 11 and then came back? Jeopardy music for the for trying to figure out how to open up the tape. That's not a bad idea. Measured that, I didn't. I'm old now, married 30 plus years, just love the beauty. People are a different breed. Kansas, Oklahoma. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I was born here in the Boise area, and we moved back after being at college and living in Vegas for a year. Decided, you know what, this is a better setup here. All right, does it fit the shelf? It fits. It's fine. It works. Okay. Need a hole for the cord. I think I can just have it come out here, and then since this isn't going to be necessarily the tightest fit, and I'm not worried about it being, super tight. So I'll just kind of tape it so that this is, so it'll cover down here, but then it'll still have access to come out. So, but I'm not going to tape this until I get things stacked, because that'll just make it a little bit more difficult. Okay. Oh, not going to be a ton of drainage. Yeah, I wouldn't think so. Current moisture level, when I checked it originally, right after cutting it, it was largely over 50%. I haven't checked today. I was thinking to, but I will look at it now. So, and I'll even put it on camera for you. So this one is saying low 30s. So it's actually already gone down a fair amount from when I cut it. Let's just check the other side, see if it's consistent. Oh, that might be because my hand back there. 40, high 30s, high 30s. So that's just one of these pieces. So give you a feel for it. Okay. The boards with the major place board still. Yep. Does this thing come with instructions? The dehumidifier. Are you asking if the dehumidifier comes with instructions? If so, absolutely. And I tossed them as soon as I saw them. There, it's right here. User manual. I'm a man. Why would I look at instructions? This was not a kit. I just got the dehumidifier separate from the foam insulation. The foam insulation I'd actually just been using here already for just having something under, like when I'm cutting plywood and stuff. But let's see. Why add moisture and have it? Oh, are you talking about the my joke earlier about the sprinklers? I don't know if you can see the sprinkler. Yeah, you can in the shot. So I've got the sprinkler controller right here. It's plugged into the same outlet as the dehumidifier. So I've got one thing plugged in there to add water and one to get rid of water. So it's just my lame attempt at a joke. Mold, yeah, mold isn't too much of an issue here. We're semi-arid climate, so speed that up. It fits. Notch on the bottom side, you can tape it. Yep. Come down fast. Yeah. These are the boards that I cut like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. And they've just been sitting on my, it's the cherry wood that I cut, and they've just been sitting on my workbench ever since then. And so I'm itching to get them off of my workbench so I can actually more easily get work done. So, okay. All right. All right. So I was thinking to put my longest, biggest boards down first, but as I was getting ready to do this, so not all of them are even going to be the full width or the full length. A lot of them are going to be a lot shorter, and I want to use the space well, so I might stack stuff here, and then maybe I'll use a couple other stickers over here and put smaller stuff over there, and then kind of alternate which side I'm putting the longer stuff on. So maybe this row I'll have, or this level I'll have longer stuff on this side, and then the next level I'll have longer stuff over here. So I'm not just having short stuff on this side only. But before I can be stacking, I need to be painting, because I have not painted the ends of these like I should have done when I first got the wood. I should have painted the ends. So I was thinking to paint as I stack. Probably a terrible idea, especially since I'm not really wearing clothes that I've painted on before. So this is probably not going to go well, but that's why you're tuning in, right? Let's see the stuff that doesn't go well, because that is so much more entertaining. All right. Just stack the stickers on the crosscut sled down there. All right. And yeah, I still need to space them. Yeah, it's too late now. You think it's too late to paint them? Yes. Well, that makes it easier because then I can just stack them and call it good. Um, but all right. Oh, we've got Carrie going down for the night. Hey, thanks for joining, Carrie. If I paint it now, I'll screw it up. That's easy to believe. In what way will it get screwed up by painting it now? Is it that if I put the paint on and then put it right in the kiln and start dehumidifying, that'll be a problem, or just that it's too late to put on paint? I should have done it a while ago, and you know, too bad, missed out. You paint it now, it'll screw it up to be able to apply a finish. What do you mean to apply a finish? Because I'm definitely not finishing the wood now. I'm just going to try to dry it. Maybe I'm completely misunderstanding what you're saying. The paint is just at the end of the boards, right? You only have the bark on still. Yeah. See, so I was thinking to just paint on the ends before I put them in. Are you thinking it's just not even worth doing at this point because it's been too late? You know that it's too late. Like, I'm not going to paint the faces of the boards. That's where I'm expecting the moisture to come out. I was just going to paint the ends. And it would have been a lot easier if I'd done it before I cut everything up, because then it'd be a lot fewer times that I'd have to be painting anything. But I also don't want to screw it up if there's something wrong with that. You wouldn't do it? Yeah. Well, it's certainly easier not to do it. So, yeah, I think I'll skip it then. Fine with me. All right, let me see what the longest boards are here. And the other issue I have with all these boards is that, so I've got, several that are, I've taken off a fair amount on both sides. Oh man, that guy's already cracked. That's not good. But that's right through. So I've got the pith there. So it cracked right through the pith. Yeah. Guess I've already screwed this up. So, oh well, live and learn, right? But all right. So I'll just try to have at least an inch of space between each of these. And so what I was trying to say before I was so rudely interrupted by seeing what I screwed up before, a lot of these I didn't have enough branch to be able to cut all the way through. So over here is thinner potentially than over here. And so I don't want to put these at the lower levels, even though I can see that right there it's pretty much the same width as over here. It took off just a little shaving there. So even though this is a longer one, I want to put it more towards the top so that it doesn't mess up the spacing for the ones above it. So, all right, let's try these guys here. Supposed to put these at pretty much the same spots. They're consistent. And that being the case, I think I'm going to move these middle ones over a little bit. Okay. Okay. Hey, Dylan. Good to see you again. Can't sleep when she's gone? Well, all right. Good fun. Hey, you can still check out the fire. It's on the channel. So if you've got 6+ hours to burn, you can watch it. Watch me burning stuff. And Dylan, if you're having trouble sleeping, if we can't put you to sleep here, then that watching that burn from the other night would probably do it. My mother wanted to watch some of my videos, and she has a Roku set up at home and on her TV, and so she wanted me to set it up so that she could watch the live videos on there as well as the other videos. And I wasn't sure initially if there was anything different to do for the lives versus the regular videos. So went in and got it all set up, and she started watching, and she's like, "Oh, I'm going to watch, this. What was it? It was cutting up the cherry wood. One of those guys, and it was like 2 hours long. So I was like, "Oh, so you want to take a nap, I guess?" She's like, "Oh, I already napped today. I'm not going to fall asleep." And that was funny because she called me later and told me, "Yeah, I fell asleep." So, all right. Yeah, we're glad to have you here, Dylan. Hope you enjoy the show. If you want a good laugh, all you have to do is rewind a little bit and watch me trying to take off the tape from the HVAC. Remove the backing from the HVAC tape. That should give you plenty of cause for laughter. I'm seeing as I put these on, that I'm not very good at handling cherry wood, and also that the boards are already, pretty warped. And I don't know if that's because of the moisture they've lost since I cut them, or just because I didn't cut them very well. It could definitely be both. You can see, like, this is just a sliver of bark that I cut off before, and you can see how warped it got. And this was probably just within a day or so. It warped that much. So I don't know how well you can see the warping from what I'm showing you, but pretty obviously warped to me. All right. Dylan, do you have any experience with drying your own wood? And if so, How do you typically do it? And what am I doing wrong, basically? Educate me to the extent possible. All right, so now I'm getting down to a lot of the thinner stuff that might not stack as well. I might have way more stickers than needed, but probably better to have too many than to have too few. And I'll just put some on. I'm going to do this a little bit angled so that I make sure that the stickers are where this guy has the appropriate width or appropriate height. If I can remember what dimensions or what. Same on that. Okay. Even though it's not where they typically or how they typically say to do it. All right. But I don't know that we're going to get much better than that anyway. So yeah, this guy's quite a bit thicker than the other two, the one in the middle. I don't know if it's as obvious on the camera as it is with me looking at it from the side here. I'm going to put this guy in a different spot. He's messing everything else up. Apparently he is not 5/4 like he's supposed to be, or maybe he is and these guys are not. Let's try that. Let's presume that this guy is 5/4 and that it's the other ones that are the problem. That is, make sure there's enough room for airflow on all sides there. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is going to get a little dicey. Hey, Pine and Oak, good to see you. Let's see. Voice is gentle. Hey, you know what? Years ago, I was a missionary in Argentina, and that's where I got my nickname. Maybe you've heard the story. But one time we were teaching this lady and her sister. You know, they were older. You know, probably. Well, I don't want to say now because maybe you're older than they are. But I was only like 19 or 20, and so they seemed older to me. They were maybe in their 60s. But anyway, we were teaching this lesson, and you know, we about an hour talking about, you know, Jesus and stuff. And when we were all done, you know, she looks at me and she says, "Elder Nelson, your voice is so soft and smooth. It just puts me right to sleep." And like, yeah, that my companion loved it. He couldn't help just laughing the whole way home. So that was our last appointment for the night. So gentle, soft, smooth, sleep-inducing. Those are all appropriate terms for my voice, I think. Yeah. And I think I should have used those ones a little bit earlier, but they were buried at the bottom of my other stack. So some of the first stuff I cut probably. Ooh. Huh. You can see how it's not really balancing that great. But you know what? I'm getting close to the end, and I'm like, you know what? It is going to be fine. So probably not going to dry perfectly. It's definitely not stacked perfectly. But as my granddaddy used to say, good enough for who it's for. All right. All right. So I don't know if I'm going to get any more stacked above that. If I do, it might not have enough airflow. But let's see if it'll even accept another board. I can handle it. Yeah, I can put one up there, but I'm not going to. All right. So I can try putting stuff over here. You know what? I think I will, but I might stack it the other direction, but then that's probably not good. So let me put this as far over here as I can. And then that gives me a little bit more space over there to put stuff. So I don't have a lot more to use. Oh, you know what? I can put some of this thinner stuff that's probably not even worth drying. Might be able to put some of that up above those ones. It's thinner and longer. So get 3 of those that are maybe less than the full 5/4. Yeah, that should work. Maybe is a little more than I should be trying, but got to make mistakes to learn from them, right? How am I going to learn from mistakes that I never make? Let's see, what else do I have that could fit in there? Getting to be kind of slim pickings over here as far as what's even worth drying. All right. Let's see what else we got. So here's the state of the workbench now. So still a mess, but most of this is either too long to fit in my new section here or too thin, but there are a couple of things here that are maybe worth trying to dry. This might fit in that back corner. Hey, it does. Actually, I might be able to get 2 pieces back there that are longer. That one's cracked, so I'm not as worried about him. Let's see, what else do I want to try to work with here? If this guy's too long, right? Right? Yeah. Yeah. And let's see if there's anything else that I can try to fit back there. Anything else that I even want to bother trying to dry. Guess I'll throw this one back there. Okay. I probably should have put the smaller stuff over there instead of right next to the dehumidifier, because these will probably get the most heat and dry out the fastest. So maybe that wasn't the wisest, but yeah, you know. I love working with cherry, yeah. You know, I haven't really worked with it other than this project. Almost as pretty. You are a pretty man, Delon. Incense board, put some legs on the Keep it flat, good airflow, keep some weight on the top. Yeah, I don't know how much weight I'm really gonna be able to keep on the top there, but let's see. Light night show, yeah. Pine and oak, I'm making a kiln to dry this cherry wood. So I've got basically 1-inch foam board, insulation board, and a dehumidifier. And got the dehumidifier plugged in over there. I've got a drainage hose that is going to exit over here and empty into, I don't know, maybe a bucket. And just do a bucket down here. That'd be easy. And boom, solve that problem. And then I'll cover it up with this guy. I'll put some HVAC tape up here, and then probably something not as sticky and involved as HVAC tape on the sides and bottom. So it's relatively easy to open up and access when I want to. But I might just put some HVAC tape and then just cut it when I want to open it. But I haven't decided on that quite yet. All right. Oh, hey, thanks for subscribing, Pine. Appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoyed the live. You were on for a little bit, weren't you? I was having technical difficulties, so I wasn't able to fully participate at first. So, but I think you were at least on for a little bit, weren't you? Okay. Same thing with paint samples. Grab quickly out. And yep. Let's see here. These are pretty good. Yeah, hey, teasing is it's always fun. Doesn't bother me. Let's see here. Let's see what else am I missing here. Got the sounder down there. You need. Oh yeah. So I just picked this up used off of Marketplace. Somebody was selling it, and I went and checked it out. It worked. And I still need to put the sanding belts on it. I've got I ordered some sanding belts from Amazon. I don't even know where I put them. They're probably down under the workbench right now. But yeah, I think I ordered the belts and a new disc as well, but I haven't even used it yet. So bandsaw replacement. Yeah, Mike helped me with that. But yeah, my table saw. I have a stream, Colin. Oh, I don't. I should, but I don't yet. I might. I've been thinking about doing like a StreamYard or something like that, but I haven't quite yet. So that's still something I might do one of these days. And force yourself to bed or force yourself to sleep, Dylan. 9:30. It's almost 1:30. Hey, just put on that stump burning video. You'll be able to sleep in no time. Okay, put a movie on. Yeah, reflective board. Yep. Piece bottom board. It's half folded over. Stick a piece to the bottom board that's half folded over. Back up and running here, but changing position so I can be plugged in more easily. Also, it charges a lot faster without my lapel mic plugged in, so it will probably not have as good an audio as good on audio right now. So I think I'm pretty much done with the wood that I want to try to get in there to dry. or the wood that I can fit in there to dry. So I'm just about to close it all up and call it good. Let's see. Yeah, everything else is pretty much primarily bark. So let's see, that guy, I'm just going to cut that guy in half. In there. Maybe not in half. Maybe I'll cut him a little bit more strategically so that he will fit. Yeah, I'll just cut him right there. Didn't even worry about the vacuum. All right. So, he's in there. See anything else that I want to try to just cut down and get in there. I think I'll cut this guy. All right, I think that's probably it. So he needs a little bit of space here. Yep. And then, oh, I forgot to mention earlier that let me put the hose under the power. So it's not crisscrossing. Ooh. So I'm back. So let me, oh yeah, I've got another device here to pair with the dehumidifier. Right here. So I was also thinking I might be able to fit a fan in there, but I'm not sure I'm even going to worry about it. So I'm going to plug this guy in to the wall, and then I'll plug the dehumidifier into this right here. And if it's getting too hot in there, this should shut off the dehumidifier. So that's my plan. think I'll probably just stick the probe through the foam so it's sticking into the ambient air. Somewhere like this. Yeah. Should work. All right. And I'll set it. And bottom, and then retape it. But I'm thinking of maybe a different solution that I can utilize that won't require new tape every time I open it. But I'm also not anticipating opening it a lot. So there we go, well done. Tape, foam board, dehumidifier. That's pretty much all that's included in this little makeshift small shop kiln. Hope you enjoyed it. Catch you next time.